The Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles bounce back in we'll call it weird fashion against the Saints, and then I don't know. I like the Bucks. I wrote this in the power rankings this week. I know that's something you used to do. That
Yep.
it's my job now, which
It's a burden. It's a
it's
cross to bear, my friend.
Minnesota Vikings fans hate me right
No one
now
will
because
ever email you after a power rankings and be like, "Hey, nice job." So let me
no,
just tell you that. Like, there's not
no, they
no
won't.
one will ever tell you did well. If you're looking for an attaboy, it's not doing power rankings, and yet it's the most clicked on stuff, and it's huge for fan engagement.
The great conundrum of our time is everybody hates the power rankings, but they keep reading them.
It's like a mock
Not to
draft.
make exactly not to make that the point, but the thing that scared me about the Bucks was like, okay, you're gonna lose in the NFL, obviously, but like in week 3, players and coaches are basically like Denver wanted it more than us. Denver took it to us from the get-go. And I was like, guys, it's mid-September. How did we get lulled into a false sense of confidence after 2 games? That seems a little early to me.
Yeah, look, this was one where coming in, there was some hints of, wait a second, Vita Vea's out. They're missing their offensive line, 2 guys, and they're coming in after getting crowned by everybody. In comes Denver, desperate. Sean Payton wins the toss and says, "We'll take the ball," which no one does anymore. And then they take the ball and they march right down the field and score. And then they score again. And it's like, that's all she wrote. One of those locomotive games where it's like, all right, Tampa just wasn't here today. They weren't ready to play. How do you bounce back? Now, some interesting parts to this game. Tampa's beaten Philly recently. They beat him in the playoff game last year. So it's not like Baker's coming in here and it's like, ooh, the big bad Eagles. Like, he gets it. He knows who he's against. 2, I like Tom Brady on the call. I think that adds a little elevation here. Let's add
Oh,
a
sure, back
a
in Tampa.
little back in Tampa. And of course, the Eagles, the team that took a Super Bowl win from him. We'll see if there's anything there as far as insight he goes against, preparing against the Eagles. But I also look at Philly back against the wall in New Orleans. Nobody believed him. Sirianni makes several head scratching decisions with the clock management and with fourth quarter, deciding to do this. And on fourth down, like, we're going to go for it on this instance, but then we're going to kick a 60-yard field goal in a different one. There's no rhyme or reason, it feels like. And yet they got the win. And after the game, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, who you know well, running his mouth in the locker room, like, we're the best team in football. And Saquon afterwards saying, when we saw Devontae Smith get hit, we got angry and we galvanized. Like, I already feel this not dog masks necessarily, but this us against the world mentality with the Eagles, where on national TV, I could see them saying, all right, we've been in 3 tight games. Let us blow the doors off an opponent. Let us go into Tampa where we had this horrible loss last year and let us run our business.
I mean, we talk about matchups. The Bucks O line has been a big problem. Luka Decky's been out at right tackle, and his replacement has had a tough go of it. Watching what Jalen Carter did to the Saints, I can't rule out a repeat performance. Especially, like I said, I mean, 4 of the Bucks starters are allowing, like, I mean, Baker Mayfield's been sacked 13 times already
Yeah.
this season.
And
That doesn't
Denver
seem like a
isn't
sustainable
exactly the
number.
76 Steelers. You know what I mean? Like, the
No,
Broncos were
no.
living in the backfield. Maybe it's a 1 week thing. And that's fine. And we'll see. And I like that center, Graham Barton, the rookie. Like, I like what they have. And obviously you got a perennial Pro Bowler, all pro in Wirfs, but it's like, all right, Bucks, again, as we always do, 2 weeks in, is Baker the MVP? And then they crap the bed and you're like, all right, we have to go back to the drawing board here. And this is a good test game, especially, national TV and the whole deal that goes with it. And then this Eagles team that I think is going to come in really hungry to back up what they did last week.
Shocker of shockers. I'm digging real deep in the narrative well here. I'd love to know what you think of Jalen Hurts so far, because like I actually think he's been playing well 80% of the time. He's using his legs again. He dug them out of that situation in New Orleans last week. He threw the ball well considering AJ Brown was out. And then 6 turnovers through 3 games. I mean, he's not quite Will Levis, but that is not a sustainable number. And you're not going to get where you want to go if your quarterback's averaging 2 turnovers a week. But I still think he's been largely encouraging.
Yeah,
Like, where do we fall
been
on
good.
Jalen Hurts?
Like, you don't want to give grace to a guy who makes $60 million and is like, the face of a franchise and is nearly the Super Bowl MVP. It's not like this guy is some young kid. Like, you want to say, all right, you're Jalen Hurts. You've gotten paid. You've had the wins in the playoffs. You've had the skins on the wall. Like, go out and do it every week. And yet, new offensive coordinator, AJ Brown's injured. No Lane, no Travis Kelce. Lane Johnson has injured. Like I'm going to give him a little bit of grace here. I know the turnovers aren't encouraging, but if Saquon catches that ball, they're likely 3-0, and we're not doing the what's wrong with Jalen Hurts conversation. So I'm going to give him another week. I'm going to give him, but like I think he's just fine. No one's calling for Kenny Pickett's head just yet. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know that I'll ever be ready to see Kenny Pickett as long
I
as
think we're
Jalen
good.
Hurts is healthy.